us getting out of Iraq, it would be happening. The Democrats, though, and their kooks are going to finally figure out, you know what, they're fleecing us. All this is fundraising. They have no intention of passing these resolutions. They can't get it done. And, they start changing their focus here to from Bush to Dingy Harry, I think they will. I don't think that's going to be long in coming. Here are a couple of bites from Senator McCain yesterday afternoon, lashing out at Dingy Harry.
The distinguished majority leader, no longer on the floor, declared the war lost. I was astonished. Madam President. I was astonished. Because if we lost the war, then somebody won. Does that mean that Al-Qaeda has won the war?
I love that. I mean, right to Harry Reid on the floor of the Senate. He did say it a number of times that the war has been lost. And, of course, the drive-bys, they gave it an initial hour or two of a push when it happened. Then after that, didn't hear much about it. So here's McCain reminding everybody who's watching this last night and the senators on the floor speaking directly to Dingy Harry. Here's one more McCain bite.
No one can be certain whether this new strategy, which remains in the early stages, can bring about greater stability. We can be sure that should the United States seek to legislate an end to the strategy as it is just beginning, then we'll fail for certain. Mr. President, I read this earlier, this resolution. This resolution incredibly says that we can only, the mission is restricted to only fighting Al-Qaeda. I guess that Al-Qaeda will have to wear T-shirts that says that they're Al-Qaeda. And I guess our troops are expected, if someone's planning an IED, excuse me, sir, are you Al-Qaeda or are you Shiite? If you're Shiite, go ahead and plant it, please.
He's right on the money. Right on just calling these people out. And even with all of this, after all of this, the Democrats don't have a plan B. They don't have a plan B for when we pull out. They don't have a plan to protect the country. They've got nothing. They won't tell anybody what it is. And that's why at this stage, this is all just fundraising. And I want to remind you again, the dirty little secret is if they wanted to get this passed, they could. They would find a way. I don't think they really want to. I don't think Dingy Harry likes losing votes every time he does this, but they're in the fundraising stage right now. They're pontificating, and I think one of the things that's happening to these people is the fawning press that they get from the drive-by media is giving them the wrong impression of the mood of the country and is giving them the wrong impression of the nation's opinion of them as members of Congress. They never get tarred and feathered in the press. They're never ridiculed. Their ideas are always amplified. Their personalities are adored. They're basically every piece written about these people is a puff piece. And at the same time, I'll give you an example. One of the Chicago papers yesterday did a story about a trial lawyer meeting in Philadelphia. And all of the Democrat candidates for president showed up. And they found a staunch Republican trial lawyer from Philadelphia. I don't remember his name right off the top of my head. A staunch trial lawyer. And he had decided that he'd had enough of the Republicans and he's going to donate to the Democrats and he's voting Democrat. And that's, wow, so staunch Republican. Another Chicago paper has a blog today where another staunch Republican in Chicago has decided to sign up for Hillary. Some big guy that's apparently been a big Republican fundraiser. So I continue to read the story. Somebody did some research on this Philadelphia trial lawyer and found out that, I'm going to give you a ballpark on the numbers because I don't have them right in front of me here, but found out since 2000 he's given the Democrats $9,000 and the Republicans like $600 or $900. He's not a staunch Republican at all. He may be a registered Republican, but he's given money to Kerry and he's given money to Gore. He's given money to the midterm elections and so forth. So the drive-bys are writing these stories, and this thing in the Chicago, I guess Sun-Times it is today, about this big former Republican fundraiser signing up with Hillary. And so the Democrats read this, and I think they get the impression that Republicans are just fed up with any of their presidential candidates. AP had a poll the other day. The number one vote getter in this poll of AP was none of the above. All of the Republican presidential candidates, none of the above won. So the Democrats see all this, and I think they get this notion that Republicans are peeling away from their candidates left and right, and big corporate givers and fundraisers peeling away, and you combine that with all of the fawning coverage that they get personally, and I think they've got themselves in a situation where they don't really understand how they look to people, which is good, by the way. I hope they continue to be so arrogant and conceited about this that they don't get it. But this thing last night, opened a door, smashed right into it with their face before they had a chance to get through the doorway. Here's Mrs. Clinton.
Many of us believe that it is time for us to move our troops out of harm's way in the middle of the Iraqi civil war. We believe that is an appropriate military decision that will be made sooner or later.
I got a commercial break coming up.
The recent report, which was an interim report, did not have very much good news in it. In September, we will get another report, which I predict will be also mixed, which will put the best face on whatever the facts are, but the bottom line will remain the same.
Yeah, well, that's what's that.
Our troops and their families are paying the price for this administration's policies.
Wow, I wondered if I was going to get that. I'm sorry, folks, that was 45 seconds of absolute meaningless blather. Boilerplate, meaningless blather. I told you I went to bed with Barbara Boxer and I woke up with Hillary Clinton. Watching this thing last night, we got one more Hillary and two of Madam Boxer. This was around 4:10 this morning, by the way.
Madam Chairman, I believe our troops, as well as the American people, deserve a vote, yes or no, on this bill. If you believe in giving the President the continued power to pursue a failed strategy,
by the way, stop this a second. This is another stunt these people pulling all night. One of the tricks was trying to make it look like the Republicans were preventing a vote on this. It was the Democrats preventing the vote. It was the Democrats trying to hustle up votes all night. But they're the ones that were preventing the Republicans were not stopping anything here. This was just rhetorical trickery, and this is something I wanted to point out during the middle of the bite here.
Or balance by this Congress, make your case and cast your vote. If not, then put partisanship aside and stand with the bipartisan majority working to end this war. Our message to the President is clear.
Yeah.
It's time
to lose.
Start thinking of our troops and our broader position in Iraq and beyond. Not next year, not next month, but today.
What a joke. The one guy that is thinking only about that is George W. Bush. It's you people on the Democrat side don't have any kind of a plan, and you're running for president, and you don't even have a plan. And you won't have a plan till you get a poll that you can trust based on what the people that you believe represent the country tell you they want.